story starts after the resurrection and ascension of Jesus. And Jesus told all his followers to go out into the world and to proclaim the good news. And in this time, the church grew substantially. More and more people heard the good news and were saved. Sins were forgiven and people were baptized in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. And so the church grew throughout the world. The gospel spread. But at the same time, persecution came. Followers of Jesus were beaten and sometimes tortured for their faith, even stoned to death. Others were exiled to faraway places. And one of these disciples of Jesus that was exiled to an island was John. And while John was on the island, God gave him a vision of hope for the church. And in this vision, God spoke to John about the future, about the hope that was to come in Jesus, that Jesus would return in glory. And in that time, people would gather from every tribe and tongue and nation and worship him.
Is it appropriate to ask questions while
You
can you
ask,
have conversation going on in between?
Absolutely.
So this is not just a one-sided conversation then?
No, not at all.
So you've got people there, so from north, south, east, west.
Yeah, all different shapes and sizes. That's what I like about this part. So don't have to be perfect.
Okay. Yes, well, most people are not perfect, so that's all right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wonder what John would think now.
Yeah. And then later, God gave John another vision. And in this vision, Jesus returned, and on his robe was written, King of Kings, Master of Masters, and he will wipe away every tear from their eyes.
guess it's only a good master that would wipe away tears, isn't it?
Yeah.
Other sorts of masters tend to create them.
And that's part of the vision, is that a beautiful city came down from heaven, and in that city God would dwell among his people. He would walk among his people again.
Does that mean he's not walking amongst his people now?
In different forms. He has given us his Holy Spirit now, so that we are his hands and his feet. It says in his word that in that time we will not need the sun anymore, because his presence will be among us. And so in that time, everything will be made new.
I wonder what made new looks like.
Yes, is it a physical being made new as well?
What sort of reality are we talking about?
Yeah.
Amy, what does it feel like?
Cooling.
Cooling, you say?
Kind of relaxing.
Does it tickle?
No.
So the other henna, this is a new henna paste I'm using. The other paste that I have has eucalyptus oil in it.
Right.
So it smells really nice as well. It's very relaxing. I used it on my friend's back while I was in Coventry.
You were doing a henna on her back?
Yes.
Ah.
She has a wedding, and she's got this blouse that she's wearing with a low back, so she wanted something
On the back?
on the back. So I did a design for her of the tree of life.
Will it harden up?
Yeah, so it hardens up. So as you can see here, it's already starting to dry a little bit.
So if you bend your fingers, it will crack?
It can crack. So there are different methods that you can use to keep it soft for longer, because it means it stains deeper. So one of the things you can do is you can dab it with a paste made of sugar and lemon juice, and that soaks into the henna and then makes it go deeper into your skin.
So you're gonna peel it off later and there'll be marks?
Yeah, so what it does is it basically stains into the deeper layers of your skin. So you can see here, this is from what I did a couple of weeks ago. And then as your skin renews itself, it comes closer and closer to the surface and eventually disappears.
So, I guess, have all the people that you've been practicing on been Christians?
Yes. Yeah.
So you will have very different
So I'll have more.
conversations with
I'll have a
people who
lot
are
more
not
questions.
Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because we're all standing here not asking questions.
no, exactly.
Because
Whereas
we know the
obviously
story, which
we're
is not good.
Normal with visions from God and that kind of thing. Whereas they'll say what?
Normal with vision.
Yeah.
I think it's quite common for Asian women to just sit there silently while the hair
Is it?
lady does their hands. It's like when you go to have your nails done or painted, you don't necessarily have to talk, you just let them,
Just kind of.
and it's a very relaxing thing, and I think they'll let you speak, both of them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing as well, especially I have designs for feet as well. So if we're walking the Camino, you know, I can wash people's feet if they have time in the evenings, and then do a henna design for them if they want that. So yeah, depending on all the other stuff that we'll be doing and how much time we'll have.
Well, that gives us inspiration to understand some of the something that may be going on over these next couple of weeks or so, a bit more than 2 weeks from now. So, as you discover how to use that. So, what part are you adding to now?
So this is just kind of Asian design filler.
Oh, right.
So because obviously
So
henna's
how
very detailed and delicate.
so if you're not telling the story, which you clearly don't have to tell the story all the time, you're just drawing, and that's fine. As
Just
Shelley said, you can
drawing,
just
yeah.
have silence, and that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously depending on what story I'm telling as well, it takes longer, or I'll add more details. So for example, what I might do if I was telling this story to a non-Christian, I would give more detail about the whole of Jesus' life and ministry, and then his death and his resurrection, and maybe the day of Pentecost as well. So I'd start drawing sooner, and then just point out the different parts of the story that I've put on their hands, rather than drawing it as I go along.
So each specific stroke has meaning to it?
Not each part, but like the main signs. So this represents the church and the growing church and its flourishing. This represents the persecution that's coming alongside that. Then this is the vision that John has while he's on the island. And then this is Christ returning, and people from all tribes and tongues and nations coming together. That's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. These represent the tears that will be wiped away. This is the city, the glorious city. And then these are the shoots, the new life that is in him, the new creation.
So those are universal symbols?
No, so they're used in all the henna stories.
Yeah, that's what I was
But I think, yeah, there's a website that I get the designs from. I think it's, they try to use different symbols than are usually used in henna, because obviously that's more about, henna's used for weddings and stuff because it represents fertility and that kind of thing, which is, you know, not really what I'm going for. So, yeah. So yeah, and then obviously there's more time for people to ask questions and stuff about the story if they have questions and that kind of thing. So yeah.
Wonderful.
Shall we pray over you now for the opportunity
Yes.
that you have?
Exactly.